Hey guys, what's happening? So take a look at this thing. Alright, picked this up last night, offer up $100. Not sure if you can guess what this is. These are super rare. I mean, it's hard to even find information on these things. They went by a couple of different names. RM Italy, what's it, KLV200, Allen, K1313. Also, I think Midland, or Midland made this. I'm not sure even who made this. There's no sticker on who made it. I don't know if they made these in the United States or not. Like I said, the getting information on this thing is super rare. You probably maybe already know it just by the title of this video what this thing is, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It was made in the late 90s, early 2000s. From all the information I can tell about it. I took it apart last night and looked at it. Like I said, I don't even know if it works or not, but let me show you what it's up. Alright, looks pretty cool, huh? Well, that's a single tube 10 meter CB amplifier. Yeah, I've been kind of wanting one of these for a while. I'm kind of looking at it. Actually, this guy actually had it up on there for 6 months, and I was kind of offering him money, and you know, finally I just paid him the full price, $100. That's how much I wanted the thing. So I wanted to pair it up with my old 858 Grand, my best sounding radio, this one right here. That's a unit of Grand XL that I just made a video about. But this actually one does sound better. It's not a solid state, it has a relay. But the 858 Grand is incredible how the receive on the thing, how it sounds. But if you're not familiar with these tube amplifiers, and I'm actually still learning, so like this tube technology is a really old technology. I mean, I'm 49 years old, and tubes were way long gone before I was even born. You know, I was born in what, 75? So I mean, I remember my grandpa had like a tube TV, you know, from the 50s and 60s, but is that trace cut? What's that? I don't know. I'm looking at this right here. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of mods because there's not even enough information on this to know what a mod. I mean, that looks like a clear like trace cut. So yeah, because where am I going to get the information about the mods for this thing? I was doing research last night. Even just finding the manuals difficult, but yeah, these things are super dangerous because they're high voltage. I mean, look at the size of those capacitors right there. You know, yeah, these tubes run off high voltage. They're not like a low voltage transistor. So I'm gonna clean this up a little fast. I'm a little nervous to even fire it up now that I see this cut trace. All right, so it doesn't even say who made it. So it actually is missing some feet. Well, one of the feet is still on there, so I'm gonna get that so it's not sitting on the screws. You know, there is videos of people like BBI amps doing stuff on tube amps, but there's not a lot of information about them, you know, online, because I mean they just don't really make them anymore. Like I said, I think this was a newer adaptation of a tube amp because it was made in the early 2000s. It runs as far as I know, an EL519 amp or a tube, so you can actually still get those. They make them in Russia. But I think Philips originally was the one that made them, but I'm not sure who makes this one. Yeah, like I said, this thing was definitely made in Europe. It's all the information I can see. The Allen or Midland and the RM Italy. Like the RM Italy, the KLV200, I mean, -V, looks exactly like this. Alright, so I'm going to clean this whole radio up first real fast, get the dust off, bled out my compressor, clean the tube off, and he said it worked. He said it put out about, I never said the watch. So supposedly these are supposed to be about 100 watts AM and about 200 PEP for a single sideband. All right, so I kind of trace that cut trace right there, and it feeds around to this light bulb right here, right there. So I don't know if that's ground or positive. I haven't looked at it that closely, but so I don't know if this light bulb is like, you know, like transmission. So like it looks like it's tied into like the circuit of the tube somehow. So maybe as you're transmitting, right, like the higher modulation, the light would go on and off. So I'm not sure. It's sort of like a sensitivity light, you know, modulation light. Not sure. Alright, so I designed some new feed for it. Alright, so I don't see any digital circuits on this thing, which is pretty cool. And actually, that's what I was hoping for. So, for my day job, I work with a lot of microcontrollers, ARM processors. And there's always you kind of lose the sound quality when you go from digital or analog to digital and back to analog again. So a DAC, like a digital analog converter. So if you use an ARM processor, sometimes there's digital analog converters on those things. And usually there is. A couple of the pins are dedicated to analog conversion. But from what I hear, like I said, I'm not an RF expert, I'm not even an audio expert at all. That's not what I do for a living. I just do this stuff for fun. Is you have issues like converting, going from digital to analog. It just doesn't sound as clean as pure analog. Alright, so the locks I designed, basically a screw goes through there and pinches those things out. So that's sort of like how the original ones was, just kind of pinched in there. So goes in there, I slide it in like that, and I just put a screw in it like that. And it opens it up and locks it in place. Yeah, these two bands make a little bit nervous. Alright, I'm going to plug it in and turn on. And they say well, actually, I don't have the manual for this actual one, but the one that looks identical to it. Alright, so I give it some power. Back up here. Alright, got some lights. They say you're supposed to let it warm up for 2 minutes, the tube. So I don't have it in standby. So if I had it in standby, that would basically just, it would allow you to do like pass-through. So you could turn the tube off, but you know, continue to receive. Alright, so I'm not in standby, I'm in AM mode, I'm in low power mode. So I'm going to let it warm up, and I'm going to turn my other AM. I have it going into my dummy load. Then I made this dummy load in a different video with the, so this thing will probably heat up pretty fast. Alright, let this thing warm up, and we'll do some testing. Yeah, then I got to tune it. So I guess what they said in the manual was to do short intervals until you get max wattage. So I'm going to start this off at 0. When I got it was at 1, so I don't know what the... My dead key is pretty high on that thing. It was originally, I think it's like 5, around 5 watt, 5.5 watt, somewhere in there. So that might be, it doesn't say like in the manual like to have like a lower dead key or not. So, I mean, most of the standard radios I've seen have been 4 to 5 watt dead key. So I'm going to do a quick dead watt or dead key test. Oh, you hear that? What the hell was that noise? Oh, was that the relay clicking? Alright, so let's do that high. And so why is that trace cut? What's up with that? Okay. It is still lighting up. Alright, so I'm going to do another test here. So I hooked up to my digital watt meter here. So I want to verify what's up. Is it like I mean, that first loud click? Yeah, so right now is it even amping? Yeah, I guess it is amping a little bit because my normal dead key would be about 5 or so watts. So let's make sure I'm in AM. Yeah, AM. Put that in high. Okay. Alright, let's tune this thing up. I'm not sure if you guys can see the watt meter here, but I'm going to dead key it. And for the manual, they said you're supposed to dead key it and tune it for max power. Okay, yeah, look at that. It makes a huge difference. Just turn it up a little bit. So, it seems like there's a slight delay when you kick it up, you know. Okay, 78. Okay, so 40. So you can see it go down. So it looks like that's a variable capacitor. Okay. So I guess you just tune it for 10. So cool. 3 was, like I said, I'm totally new to tube amps. So okay, so 81, 80. Which one's right? Is this one right or that one right? You know, it's hard to know. Alright, so about 82 watts on this meter. It's about the max I get here. I mean, this one shows I'm putting out about 125 watts. I mean, who knows if that thing's right or not. I don't know if there is a trimmer pot inside there, but I don't know. I have to look at the schematic more to see if that meter's even right, you know. This is a brand new digital meter, so I don't know. Let's see it put it on low and see what it does. Okay, so on low it does about half the that it does on max. Here, I'm gonna get this thing a break here. Alright, let's try this SSB, see what happens. Alright, so I switch this over to lower sideband, channel 21. Got in a demo low, so I shouldn't be talking to anybody. Let's switch this to SSB. So I'm guessing there's gonna be some kind of delay. Test 1 2, test 1 2 1. Audio. Audio. Audio 1 2. See, that's what I figured the light was for. It would fluctuate with the modulation. Audio 1 2 1 2. Audio. Yeah, this is not a peak meter, that little meter, so I'm not gonna be able to see what peak is. 1 2 1 2. It shows over. In the manual it should be 200 watts PEP, but 1 2 1 2 1 2. Now it shows in this meter it shows about 100 watts. 1. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting 200 watts. 1 audio. Yeah, so guess we'll see. I'm not gonna transmit in the air, but all right. So I've only seen one other one on eBay. It's like $200 and it's over in Greece, but it's brand new in the box. The same one of these things. So if you guys know more about these amps, let me know down below. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna take my little power supply. I'm gonna put the amp right next to my other Palomar TX100. So the Grant XL will be on the TX100 and the Grant 858 Grant will be on the tube amp. So I have two different antennas. I have a Starduster M400, which is going to be connected to the P8 Palomar. Then I have a half-wave horizontal, which this will be connected to. But I've made other videos about me building that thing with the Ballon, the 1-to-1 Ballon. But I'm going to try. I designed a new part, a new box, which I'm going to do it in inverted V. So, see if I get better reception. But what's funny is sometimes it's weird, but sometimes the horizontal is noisier and sometimes it's quieter, and sometimes I can pick up people that I can't pick up on the vertical, so, or on the ground plane antenna. So, but yeah, if you know more about this amp, let me know down below. Cool. I mean, it wasn't cheap. I mean, I could have got probably another 2-pill for probably under $100. But I thought this was pretty cool, the tube. So, alright. Cool.